have a nucleus. Okay, we'll learn why. For the white blood cells, 5 different types, and they are identified based on the structure of their nucleus. 3 belong to the category known as granulocytes, granules. 2 are agranulocytes. That is how they were put into the categories many moons ago. What we now know, with the ability of being able to see stuff, like with the scopes that we have now, we know they all contain granules, but we have kept them in these categories for a reason. So when you look at these white blood cells that they're trying to show in this picture, do you see how their nuclei are different? Okay? They're larger too. They're larger than the red blood cells, much larger than platelets. Platelets are just a fragment. Okay? So now my question to you, if you were given this picture to label, would you be able to label it? I.e., on a test. Mark this one, put a little star by it. This is one I want you to know for upcoming information. How many of you in here? Now, and y'all know I'm old as a dinosaur. Okay? Like when I was growing up, and you had to go like to the pediatrician, you know how like there are some things in life that you just have a memory of, no matter how old you might be? Some people will be like, oh, I remember that, that happened when I was 3 years old. And people will go, you don't remember anything from being 3 years old. I go, I remember them sticking me and pulling that blood up. Because they would always have to come in and, and it was the same lady, because I grew up in a small town, everybody knew each other. All right, and come in, and man, she pinched that finger real hard, okay? And then, she pinched that finger, and then she'd take that little thing that had the little needle in it, pew! And as a kid, that's very traumatic, okay? And then she'd take that little tube, put the little tube on it, all right? And then she'd leave. And you sit there going, and your mom's going, don't you cry, give yourself a cry for, okay? Hush that, stop that fuss. And so, they put the little Band-Aid on it and stuff. We didn't have fun Band-Aids, we just had the Band-Aids, okay? And you sit there and, all right, so that, you remember that, okay? Well, what she was doing, she was getting that tube to do that. The centrifuge. Y'all familiar with those? Don't ever open that lid till it completely stops. Trust me on this. Okay, that is not a fun picture. What that is going to do, they can use it clinically, all right, to know if levels of materials in the blood are normal. Because red blood cells are the heaviest. They will settle out first. White blood cells, which should not be in high numbers unless you're sick, okay? Because they will duplicate and go hopefully help fight whatever's trying to invade you. But there shouldn't be a whole bunch of them. So under normal conditions, the white blood cells should only have a small amount. The rest would be the plasma. So those red blood cells, they should be settling to the bottom. These are our erythrocytes, and they should make up the huge portion, or a huge portion, of the blood. Okay? So, in looking at the components, we're going to see that the red blood cells settle out first, and they make up what is known as a hematocrit, a count. All right? The next thing would be those white blood cells. They refer to this as the buffy coat. Plasma comes out last and is a major part of the blood based upon your level of hydration. If you're not well hydrated, that would not be a good amount. Just saying, okay? So, when they begin to look at information in the clinical setting, blood work is usually one of the first things they do, all right? So, typical values. Have y'all ever had your blood drawn? Okay. Have you ever asked to see the lab work? No? Do your doctors, like, do they have the little patient portals where you can now go into and, you know, look at your lab work and stuff like that? Oh, yeah. I was asking for my lab work back before they even knew what patient portal was. I mean, I was asking for my lab work before we knew what computers were. I mean, y'all got to remember, I was probably in my 30s when the first computer came out that you could really buy and sit on the desk. Yeah, I know, right? Y'all like, I told y'all I'm a dinosaur. So, in looking at norms, all right, and there's usually a value that the readings should fall within, as well as looking at those numbers in relationship to age, what is their physical condition, and so forth. So about 8% of our body weight is based on our blood. The volume in the adult body, males will have about 5 to 6 liters, females about 4 to 5. The reason it's lower in females, we menstruate. Okay, so yes, we do have the loss. The volume of body weight, about 80 to 85 milliliters per kilogram, which we don't weigh in kilograms, we weigh in pounds. The temperature should be about 38 degrees Celsius. Sometimes about 37, depending upon what literature you look at. The pH. The pH of the blood should be within the 7.35 to 7.45. Anything lower than that or higher than that is detrimental to the body. Now, I'm not saying the pH wouldn't be affected, but sepsis is where there's the bacteria, and it's basically going to affect the organs because of the blood supply to the organs. No, pH, power of hydrogen ions. Acidic, basic. All right? Trust me on this. The body works very hard to maintain pH. If the pH goes too high or too low, one of the biggest things you're going to affect, proteins. They're going to denature. You guys remember all those little proteins, which do everything. Okay? Viscosity. What is that?
My blood is flowing like this.
The blood. how easily it flows. The better the viscosity, the better the blood's flowing. Osmolarity. Oh my goodness. Whew. Osmolarity. Osmolarity. Chemistry. Oh no. What is it? My water balance. And yes, that meaning it would affect the fluidness of this material. But oh boy, understanding that difference, oh gosh, between the osmol and the molarity and everything, oh man, it makes my head hurt just thinking about it. Salinity, salt content, roughly about 0.9. Once again, the body wants to hold that pretty tight, okay, because that affects the movement of water in and out of the cells of the body. The hematocrit, once again, males are going to be a little higher because females menstruate. Hemoglobin, same thing. The red blood cell count, okay. What do y'all notice about that? It's a lot. Why? Think about how many microliters would be in 6 liters. And multiply that times the numbers there. I'm sorry, I can't do that kind of math. Okay? I had somebody try to give me some math Sunday. I was like, I can't do that kind of math. Figured it out though, but I couldn't really do it like that. I can't figure that out, but why? What is important about the red blood cell? Crystal? Carries oxygen. What process in a cell, note I'm saying a cell, okay, uses oxygen?
I don't understand.
What process in the cell uses oxygen?
Cellular respiration.
Cellular respiration, which makes what?
Energy.
In the form of
ATP.
ATP. Are you making a correlation? Okay. Platelet count should not be high. Okay, if it's too high, there's usually something wrong. Doctors usually try to address it. The total white blood count under normal conditions should be low. That number goes up when there is an infection in the body. In the plasma, this matrix, this liquid connective tissue matrix, we're going to find that plasma, it has a mixture of water, it has a mixture of proteins, it has electrolytes, nitrogen waste, hormones, gases. Think about anything pretty much that is going to need to be transported in the blood. Now, if the material that causes blood clotting, all right, anything that would create a solid is removed, what gets left over is termed serum. You may hear when you get out in the field that they did a serum blood test.